Brother Hatim, and you have joined us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.gyenamejourney.com.
All my brothers and sisters, hold hands and bow your heads. Let us pray. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth amongst the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? I say, defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of court. I have said, ye are God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, and thou shalt inherit all nations. Allahu Akbar.
This is Kabara Franks, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
This is Adnan Sheikh, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Be sure to follow Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, Google Plus, and Twitter. Check us out. Join the journey.
This is Adnan Sheikh, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio with Monica. Enjoy.
This is Marina. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
This is Willie. Welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I want to give a shout out to Silver Kevin, all my Silver Nation out there. I want to give a shout out to my mom. I give a shout out to my dad for raising me and my family for being around me. And I want to give a shout out to the people of my generation that's trying to do something big.
This is Cleveland, and you're listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Peace, Hotep. It's Mansour Hotep, aka Mr. Deity. Mr. Deity doesn't sound good. I think it sounds great. Right now, you listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry his name. This is Brother Hatim coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shouts out to the Gye-Nyame tribe, Gye-Nyame family. Stand up. Peace. If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry his name. This is Brother Hatem coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shouts out to Gye-Nyame Tribe, Gye-Nyame family. Stand up. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Peace. This is Gina. And you are now
you listen to my
daddy.
on Gye-Nyame
My girl. On
Radio.
her day.
Peace.
It is Cootie Chagalia, and it is a great day to be alive. And as you heard, we have had enough. We have had enough. We have had enough. We have had enough. It is time for Folktales for Grown Folks. I am late. I am extremely late, fam. Let me tell you what's going on, right? I get home. I sit in the car and I start looking up news articles because one of the things I'm trying to build up is the newsletter, right? We're working on the newsletter, and we're going to need your support on that. Those of you that's out there, and we're going to need you to start sharing because our numbers are slowly but surely growing, man. And it's like, so I want to make sure that I'm able to have enough material. And one of the major focus is a Black First magazine, digital, all digital, because we don't want to spend no money on no paper. We don't want to spend no money on storage. We want to just send it straight out to you. The second sample is about to come out. I'm trying to get people to proofread it. I haven't got a lot of word back yet, and y'all already know. Because those of you that have got my books, you already know that I don't give a fuck about a proofread. I'm shipping the market. I'm just trying to go through a process, right? And part of the reason that I have problems with processes is because people be working on different timetables. So the newsletter that's coming out now is one that covers, of course, the mall that we just had. So we got our interviews with the different vendors on there. Of course, some of y'all probably seen it on the timeline, but other people haven't. So I want to start spreading what we're doing and start attracting more people to Gye-Nyame Journey so they can catch the news there, and then we can do a little bit more in depth. Sorry, I've been meaning to get to it. I know, nothing personal. I'm just like, yo, you ain't the only one though. I only had one person respond at all, and she was going to make corrections and send them to me. And I want people to look at the software that we have because I have an enterprise account, and I'm looking for all those that said they was interested. I got the account, right? I'm going to need some help doing it. You get up, you can see all the stuff that's up there. You could go on in real time and make the updates and stuff like that, and we're not playing. So, family, this is a flip magazine, right? So either I can send you the PDF, or I can actually send you a flip PDF where it's the pages, it got the little sound effects. It's cold, right? And we only gonna get better as we do it because we got to start providing the community with the information that they need so that we can start making the decisions that we need to make. So of course tonight, y'all know we are doing Folktales for Grown Folks. But back to the point. The reason I was late, I don't even know how I got on this shit. The reason I was late was because I have back orders on that ambrosia, right? And so I had to make the Justice League, and I got to go and fix that Justice League because I didn't put no flash in there. I have the Kwame mix that I put together, and I have an order for ginseng red. So I'm putting that together. Now I got to get the red together, right? Then I got to get the red together and then the rest. So it's going to be 2 gallons of lemon, lime, and ginger. I got those 3 personal orders, and the rest of them are going to be, probably have another 5 of them that's going to be original. Maybe 5 original. Yo, hold on. I need some for myself. 4 originals and possibly 1 lemon, lime, and ginger. Maybe a half of lemon, lime, and ginger. So, before we get into the folktale, right, I kind of wanted to cover some of the news on Gye-Nyame Journey because we are a media outlet. What about my gin? Oh, well, you want lemon, lime, and ginger, or you just want ginger? So be specific. I got lemon, lime, and ginger, and I'm going to throw a touch of flash in it probably tomorrow. And that's that cayenne pepper. I call that my Justice League, right? So, or you just want ginger by itself. I got you on you on the list. You're on the list now. But if you just want ginger, I'm going to get you your ginger. Because I got some extra ginger from the Justice League. But if you want the lemon, lime, and ginger, complete with the peels, that's right. I keep the peels in there, even though it kind of throws off the flavor. But the peel has a lot of the nutrients that we need. Okay? So Quasi is throwing in for a ginger. I don't know. He'll type and let me know. So, but family, like I said, I'm going to start having it on the market day. Right? I'm working towards getting my schedule to get it towards the market day so that I can have orders ready on that market day. Right? So people can either pick up their orders straight from the market, come to the market, get you some other stuff. Right? Because we're going to have more vendors this month because this is why I'm trying to send out the newsletter. We're doing a lot here at Gye-Nyame Journey. Right? So, and like I said, we running it on our dime right now. You know what I'm saying? So, now, first things first, I think I better go on and open up with a folktale. Lines are open, 614-556-4535. But I'm kind of tempted to run down the news on the timeline because I have to. We have established boundaries. We know what we want from people outside of ourselves. We know what we want from the inside ourselves. We want people to respect our borders. We want people that owe to pay, or we will take. You understand what I'm saying? We demand the right to be able to protect our own. You understand what? Why ain't doing? You can't even demand that. We're taking that right, right? And inside, we want to have the ability to train and educate our own children, as well as create markets around which communities can grow. Because I was just thinking about, going, the Gye-Nyame complex. I spoke about it years ago, the Gye-Nyame complex, where we would take some money and buy one of these apartment complexes, right? Get enough people together and buy the apartment complex, clear that motherfucker out, and only allow us in there. You understand what I'm saying? It'd be like our little city inside of the city, right? And another thing that popped up was we need some campgrounds. So I said, what would be the first thing you build on the campgrounds? It would be the central area where people could come and eat and have meetings inside. But then the rest of the campgrounds, until we developed it, we will have space for people to set up tents, and we could do it like that. So I'm thinking, I know a lot of that stuff is far off, but we have to start having visions and start working towards it. Now, when you see the term hashtag Gye-Nyame Complex, I'm talking about us raising enough money as Gye-Nyame Journey, buying one of these 100 to 75 to 100 unit apartment complexes, and basically running that motherfucker, owning it, going in, gutting it out, put all the modern appliances in there, all the modern shit. Because I would love to have the geothermal heat. I would love to have it with the solar panels, the best windows, all that shit, and just hook it up for us and have it affordable. And not people coming in renting, you coming in, you buying into the community. And so that we could start stacking up money and start buying the area up around it. And we could open up like mall, we could open up our own little open center in the center of it, where we could use to have our mall and have our farmers and our artists and our people come in and vend, so that we could start we could start snatching our life back. Because right now, we're spending and paying our life out to others. All right, so, folktale, real quick. And I'm gonna tie in, I got a couple of articles. All right. So I got you a lemon lime. I got you the lemon lime and ginger. That possibly will be ready by Kaumba. I want to let it sit and mature. I'll be doing gallons unless otherwise ordered, because those bottles are a motherfucker, man. I love doing them, and it tastes good in those bottles. But those bottles take up a lot of time. All right, but here we go. Maybe I might need to go to a 22-ounce bottle. But anyway, the lion, Jupiter, and the elephant. The lion wearied Jupiter with his frequent complaints. "It is true, O Jupiter," he said, "that I am gigantic in strength, handsome in shape, and powerful in attack. I have jaws well provided with teeth, and feet furnished with claws. And I lord it over all the beasts of the forest. And what a disgrace it is that, being such as I am, I should be frightened by the crowing of a cock." Jupiter replied, "Why do you blame me without a cause? I have given you all the attributes which I possess myself, and your courage never fails you except in this one instance." On hearing this, the lion groaned and lamented very much, and reproaching himself with his cowardice, wished that he might die. As these thoughts passed through his mind, he met an elephant and came close to hold a conversation with him. After a time, he observed that the elephant shook his ears very often, and he inquired what was the matter and why his ears moved with such a tremor every now and then. Just at that moment, a gnat settled on the head of the elephant, and he replied, "Do you see that little buzzing insect? If it enters my ears, my fate is sealed. I should die presently." The lion said, "Well, since so huge a beast is afraid of a tiny gnat, I will no more complain, nor wish myself dead. I find myself, even as I am, better off than the elephant." So I want y'all to simmer on that a little bit while I run through these articles real quick. Post it up on Gye-Nyame Journey. You can read them for yourself. Tucker Carlson, Fox News host, laughs along with a guest after he suggests black people need to move on from slavery. The guest said the idea of reparations is ridiculous. So, family, one thing that I want to make sure that we all understand, our struggle is of no laughing matter. Our ancestors' bodies are no laughing matter. The blood in the soil is no laughing matter. Dying in every war, whether just or unjust, that this country had, is of no laughing matter. And asking a people to get over woes that still affect them is no laughing matter. And when we run across stuff like this, we need to go and talk about it, because people are going to come at you, those of you who are on the ADOS train, those of you that are on Gye-Nyame Journey. We talking about reparations. We talking about snatching shit back. They're going to come and they're going to try to make you feel silly for. This is one of the strategies to make you feel silly and make you feel like, oh man, as it was so long ago, you should get over it. And family, you don't need to do that. You don't need to be like that lion. I'm getting back at, you don't need to be like that lion, because they got us with that before. And we don't have to be depressed and want to die now. No. Family. Because I'm about to get to the folktale, but I just want to drop some of these news bits because we have to stay informed about what's going on. So now on Fox News, we got motherfuckers laughing. All right, now let's look at what's going on some of these other things. How police departments make millions by seizing property. I posted that up on Gye-Nyame Journey. I want you to check it out because many of us either have been directly affected by this or we know family members or close friends who have been affected by this. I happen to know several people who have been affected by this, where the government come in and seize your shit, even though it may not have anything directly to do with the crime. Not only do they seize your shit, but they'll seize your Aunt Emma shit if they could connect any type of payment or any money that came from some illegal activities that you did. And the only thing that we need to understand is that this is one of those government hustles. You know what I'm saying? And all the shit that they taking, they account very well. I'm so glad they keep good books because we gonna shake their ass down when reparation times come round. When reparations come round, we gonna shake your ass down. That's right. Sing it with me. When reparations come around, we gonna shake your ass down because you have been confiscated. You called it confiscating as the government. But we know it is something else in the street. It's called strong arm robbery or extortion, goddammit. That's what's been going on in our community for a very long time. And now that it's affecting others, all of a sudden now, just like with the drug epidemic, it's something that we all need to be concerned about. And it need to be taken to the Supreme Court. We've been dealing with this shit forever. Hell, they was confiscating us. The fuck? Oh, but on my fault, slavery. Oh, we need to get over it, right? I'm going to get back to the folktale, but I want to get on some of these motherfuckers' asses first. Did y'all know that in New York City, up until like yesterday, they still had it illegal for a motherfucker to wear an afro in certain places and cornrows and shit? That's on the Gye-Nyame Journey timeline. That shit, that made BBC News. All right, so now we got a few articles about reparations, and I want to point out some ways that they're gonna come at us, and I'll get into the folktale analysis. The Daily 202 will supporting reparation become a new litmus test for the Democrats in 2020? Hell yeah, and it's gonna be a litmus test for Republicans as well. Hell yeah, everybody, whether you running for a dog catcher. See, because this is the mindset we got to have, and this is the question that we have to start asking individuals that say they are with us, whether you're black or whether you're white. How do you feel about reparations? If they black, you just move away from their ass, right? Because I'm gonna read something to y'all real quick. We gotta be family. We gotta start, like I said, we gotta start circling the wagons, and this whole reparations piece has given us a litmus test for everybody. You got white allies, ask them how they feel about it. And then get even more specific. Okay, cool. I'm glad. Wow. That was pretty intelligent. So who do you think should get reparations in America? See, that's where you're going to get them at, family. Because everybody start going into that collusion shit. Because, see, family, I need y'all to understand. Right, and I'm gonna move on to the next article because what I got to say applies more to that. Analysis. That one was from the Washington Post. Here's another one from the Washington Post. So hell, reparations is big talks. It's all over the papers in the Washington Post. Analysis. Democratic candidates are backing reparations for African Americans. That could be politically risky. So, last I heard, politicians are hustlers and liars and slicksters. Is it not their job to get motherfuckers to think that some of the shit that they passed was because they wanted it? So you mean to tell me when it comes to reparations, motherfuckers can't convince? Can't come up with the moral arguments? Can't come up with the good talking points? Can't come up with all the shit that they come up for all this other bullshit that they got? Hell, the Green New Deal is politically risky, but motherfuckers still ran on it. See, what we need is politicians with heart. We need politicians that understand honesty, honor, loyalty, and sacrifice. We need those type of allies, and we need those type of people around us. You know why? Because this is going to be a fight. See, a lot of y'all thinking Brother Hatim is getting excited for 2020. No, I'm getting excited because the conversation came up. And the conversation is coming up, and I'm seeing where the conversation is being generated from. And you know where it's being generated from? It's being generated from your homes. It's being generated from the conversations that you having and the ones that we have been having in private for years, and that now some of us have started learning how to use this social media so that we could reach out and start talking about this shit. And we have been running our mouths so much about this shit that now politicians that are running are now looking at whether or not they should bring this up because they might lose. And family, understand, I'm not talking about 2020 because the shit might not pass, or the person that might push it might not even get in office. The point is to let motherfuckers know that you're willing to fight, because the more you show somebody you willing to fight, the less they want to fight you. Especially when you're dealing with bullies. I've been dealing with bullies my whole goddamn life, and I'm trying to let you know, when motherfuckers know that you're going to fight, they don't want it. They don't want it. Family, this is a generational process. This is something that we might be fighting for the rest of my natural life and the rest of your natural life, but it's something that's right. Let me refresh this chat, because I know some people have got to be saying some shit. I know, and I know everybody ain't agreeing with me and shit. So I'm going to refresh the chat, because obviously the shit is broke. You understand what I'm saying? Obviously something is going wrong. Let me see. Let me go on up here. You know, we got motherfuckers laughing at our struggle and telling you need to get over it. But if their daughter got raped, you know what I'm saying, they'll be mad as fuck if one of us looked and said, how dare you tell my daughter that she needs to get over it? If a school shooting happens, we got, you know what I'm saying, you'll be wrong to tell a motherfucker, get over it. And you know, and they use the whole time thing, you know what I'm saying, because time is supposed to lessen pain. But let me tell you something, time ain't lessening. It's not lessening the wealth gap. It's not lessening the suffering of the people. Our people. Come on now. Fuck up out of here with, you know what I'm saying? As my daughter would say, miss me with that shit. Right? So yeah, it is politically risky. Yeah, and you might not win. See, but this is the question we got to ask the politician. Are you in politics to win? Are you in politics to stand up for what's right? Because I want to get to something else, and then we're going to get back into the folktale, because it's very important that y'all start realizing, because I want y'all to understand the hustle. Breaking news on NBC News. Oh, so they done tricked me. Oh, so they done took me to just the NBC page, because I'm not. You know how they do that shit, right? You know how they do that shit. You're not registered with them, so they just take you to the news and shit. I'm not on that shit. Once again, as my daughter say, miss me with that shit. So I can't remember the story I had up here, but we're gonna move, because I know it probably had to do with, all right, yeah, because that was my last talking point. For those that, because one of the things, the article was talking about how diluted the idea of reparations are, and so politicians, we got to be careful, because politicians will tell you some shit like where's I have wrote that down, because I want people to really grasp this shit, right? Politics is like going to a whorehouse. Just saying. Politics is like going to a whorehouse. Whether male whorehouse, female whorehouse, it don't matter. Whatever floats your boat. You go to the whorehouse. The question I have to ask is, do you pay the hoe first, or do you pay her after sex? Because I'm just framing this for the hustle. I'm framing this because this is something for at least the last, in my conscious life, I have witnessed for at least the last 30 years. See, because motherfuckers come to our communities and say, hey, get me in office first. Let's get in office first, then we could discuss it. Hey, help us pass this legislation first, and then we could talk. See, that's backward hoeing that they want us to do for them, right? When you go to the whorehouse, you pay the hoe first. And then you get busy. But what they want us to do, they want us to hustle backwards. They always want us to hustle backwards. They want us to do everything backwards because they come at us with empty hands and say, hey, I got you afterwards. But we know how a man or a woman is after they get what they want. I'm not as receptive to our conversation. Bitch, I'm not trying. You should pay me. I'm Joe Smo, the lover man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, this the whole piece, because that's just how they turn on us. And it's like, boom, we got to get it through. We got to work it out. And then on top of that, they start diluting the terms. So reparations to one could mean a socialist program for everybody. Reparations for another could mean that they just fix the streets in the black neighborhood. So it's important that we start studying up on what we mean by reparations and what it looks like. So one of the good places to go is ADOS 101. Look up the Black Agenda. Very simple. Look up the Black Agenda. And that's going to grow. And like I said, we don't have to limit it to that, but it's a nice framework that we can work with. Somebody on the line, who calling in?
This is Shaka. What's up now?
What's up? I hope you've been listening in because I don't want to fill you in on all the shit I just covered.
Man, you know what?
I
wasn't, but you ain't got to. I called in to see where y'all was at with it.
Okay. Oh, shouts out to Sister Kim Carswell. I heard her calling in to Tone Talks. You know what I'm saying? I heard her calling to Tone Talks on while I was listening to the show. And yo, go ahead, Kim. Kim, you did an excellent job. What? Did an excellent job. So here we go, family. So we're going to jump right into this folk tale so we can knock it out because like I said, I was kind of late. And I just wanted to make sure because we got to clean it up. The newsletter's coming soon. I'm sending the first couple out. But what I'm looking for is people that's willing to support it. And, you know, it's like $5 a month. And I'm thinking about making it like a weekly piece so that I could get my team together. All those in Gye-Nyame Journey. Now, you don't have to do no whole damn article. I'm going to talk to you about that. We can help you with this. You could be helped with this. But if you are Gye-Nyame, you're going to have to contribute. Because one of the things that keeps organizations working well is when everybody is busy. And they'd be like, Brother Hatim, what if I can't write? Then you better grab a goddamn mic and start a show. Do a 5-minute commentary on whatever's in the news that's affecting you. What if I'm too young? Well, pretty soon Gina gonna have an article too, and all the young men and women that's coming through Gye-Nyame's gonna have that shit too, because we're gonna pack it with stuff from pre-warrior all the way up to elder, because that's who in our community, and we want to cover it all. All right, so I'm going to read the folk tale real quick, Shaka, and then if you want, you can go in on it if you want, my brother. So here we go. Folk tale. The lion wearied Jupiter with his frequent complaints. It is true, O Jupiter, he said, that I am gigantic in strength, well provided with teeth, and feet furnished with claws, and I lord it over all the beasts of the forest. And what a disgrace it is that being such as I am, I should be frightened by the crowing of a cock. Jupiter replied, God damn it, lion, why do you blame me without a cause? I've given you all the attributes which I possess, and your courage never fails you except in this one instance. On hearing this, the lion groaned and lamented very much, and reproaching himself with his cowardice, wished that he might die. As these thoughts passed through his mind, he met an elephant and came close to hold a conversation with him. After a time, he observed the elephant shook his ears very often, and he inquired what was the matter and why his ears moved with such a tremor every now and then. Just at that moment, a gnat settled on the head of the elephant, and he replied, do you see that little buzzing insect? If it enters my ear, my fate is sealed. I will die right now. The lion said, well, since so huge a beast is afraid of a tiny gnat, I will no more complain nor wish myself dead. I find myself, even as I am, better off than an elephant. You want to hear this, Shaka? Long one, but
I mean, I can.
Well, you better get it, man.
I can. All right. So here's the piece: is that we very seldom find each other in a space where we are totally altruistic, ready to hear about what causes the other discomfort, pain, or imbalance or whatnot. A lion a lion in this proverb found itself in a very needy scenario, as he calls to Jupiter to, and he sees consequently that this elephant is in even more a dire situation, because that gnat meant his end, where the lion is what else that is not as detrimental is this gnat flying in the elephant's ear. The simple piece about the proverb is that no matter how bad your situation is, there's always somebody else that's worse off.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
The major piece that I want to make, though, is that the lion was wallowing. He was all in his own pain in his own world until he put himself in a situation to experience somebody else's. And so what I want to put out there into the conversation is the state of altruism. Is this a natural state that we wake up in, or is it something that our circumstance contours so that we can see the needs of those around us?
Are you asking me? Or you just throwing it
out?
I just
thought I would leave it at that so that I go all into it all by myself.
Right, because because it's awful quiet tonight. Now I don't know what's going on, but now let me go and give you my take. Because the lion actually did not have, the lion actually did not have any deficits.
He was just a complainer, is what you saying?
He was just complaining. See, because Jupiter's reply to him is in a sense the same reply that many of us get when we sitting around begging and praying and shit like this for change and shit. And God's like, look, I gave you everything that you need. Everything that you need to make shit happen. I gave you my courage. I gave you my strength, because the way the lion described himself, Jupiter said, I gave you those things because you're most like me. You just got this, look, you scared of roosters crowing. And you sitting up here crying and shit. Why are you coming up here bothering me about this shit? Kill the rooster. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the lion had everything that he needed, but he was psychologically in a sense damaged, and he felt guilty. He felt bad because he had this fear. And oftentimes we cannot recognize our own, how can I put it? We cannot recognize how good we really got it, unfortunately, until we run into somebody that has it worse. And a lot of times we can't even come out our shell until we find out that there's something out there that could be worse. And that's what kind of snapped the lion into reality. Even though he said it's better to be a lion than an elephant, you know what I'm saying? He playing that lion that liars him. It's better to be a lion than an elephant. But prayerfully, the elephant feels the same way about the lion. It's better to be an elephant than to be a lion. Because they both have personal issues, and we all have personal issues. And we have to remember this when we're dealing with ourselves. Because last week, and it'll be in this week's newsletter, I'm sending it out. I might send it out tomorrow. But there was a meditation exercise that was discussed that dealt with you dealing with yourself by looking in the mirror for a certain amount of time per day. And it's about giving yourself compassion and really taking time to appreciate who and what you are. And oftentimes, unfortunately, we can't really get into the goodness of who we are until in some form, and it's almost like it's sick, until we see somebody that is worse off. And I think that's something we really need to work on as far as our personal development. Because the lion is crying about something that he don't even have to cry about. That's Jupiter's argument. What the fuck? Get away from me. Why you keep coming? Why you keep cutting? You got everything I got. I get you know what I'm saying? You got jaws with marvelous teeth. And this is the lion describing himself. I have jaws with enough teeth to chew. I have hands with claws. My attack is fierce. He's able to point out all these good things, but yet and still, he's still lamenting about how fucked up he is.
Mm-hmm.
And many of us, we put ourselves in the same situation that the lion is in. And both of these animals, I want y'all to think about this, both of these animals had problems with things that were smaller than them, which I really love. Because this brings me to the elephant and the gnat and the small ass cock that's scaring this lion. This is the beautiful
Hey man,
part.
let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Did you ever get around to watching that
No, I didn't.
Oh man, Tim. Every time we had these conversations about these damn lions, I'm just like, man, please. I just need to have this conversation with somebody who has seen that last lioness, man. I I mean, I feel so strong about it. I feel like it should be on our movie list. It's like you know, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, it speaks volumes to every movie. And you know, I sat and I watched the first Purge, and I get it.
Oh man, I
right?
still gotta watch it. Shit. Go ahead. No, I was running around so much I didn't get to see it.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I didn't get a chance to see it because I was running around the whole night.
So, all that just to say, man, is that when we put ourselves as human beings in the natural survivalhood that any of these animals that we're talking about, we don't just have speculative shit to learn from them. We can learn true survivalhood from each of these animals that we're talking about, right?
Right.
But we look at them as if we are only taking a speculative value, as if those animals have not embraced the wisdom that we behold from their story, or their fable, or their proverb. And I don't know. I just feel like people, as a human being, are arrogant in that we in that sense, the same way that you identify with having the elders or having the ancestors a part of our movement, I feel like that can be said about the other animals as well. That's just me.
Okay. I can dig it. So, family. Now, this discussion ain't over. Of course, we can continue having it online. If you picked up something different, why don't you post it up? Because, you know, I came on late. We've been on about 47 minutes. I'm going to let it rest tonight. Because obviously the team is out doing something else more important. Right? And I want to thank Shaka for calling in. I want to thank everybody for commenting. Oh, so now somebody going to call in when we about to hang up. Who this? Probably somebody long-winded. Who is it?
Hello?
Yeah, who this?
This is TMS. I got your number from Shaka.
Okay.
Oh, hey, hi Tim.
Yes, sir.
Hi Tim. This is a brother. This is the brother that I invited into the dialogue tonight, man. And the reason I came on a little late is because I was on live, and we were chopping it up on a whole different level, the level that you and I usually do. But this brother is born and raised in Africa, and has been over here since he was 19. So I definitely want to introduce, and if you could just hang on a little bit more in the conversation, because this is I was actually looking forward to you two meeting and for us to kind of break into this conversation a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you want? So you tell them about the show?
I did tell him about the show.
Okay.
I did tell him about the show. And he had some interesting things, too, in terms of even just pronunciate how we've been pronouncing Gye-Nyame.
Oh, of course, because it might be his language. But we took it and adopted it for us.
Right on. But, so brother, what do you want? This is Hot Tim on the line with me. You already know this is Shaka, but what do you want? How do you want him to address you?
I mean, everybody can call me Addy, Adee.
Okay.
You know, it's all in. It's just Addy.
Addy, okay.
You know what I mean? And I don't really stick too much on pronunciation of names, at just what they are. But if I'm able to catch your energy, that's all that matters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. So we're talking about a proverb called tonight. The proverb that came up is the lion, Jupiter, and the elephant. I'll read it for you unless you're familiar with it already.
Go for it.
All right. The lion wearied Jupiter with his frequent complaints. It is true, O Jupiter, he said, that I am gigantic in strength, handsome in shape, and powerful in attack. I have jaws well provided with teeth and feet furnished with claws, and I lord it over all the beasts of the forest. And what a disgrace it is that being such as I am, I should be frightened by the crowing of a cock. Jupiter replied, why do you blame me without a cause? I have given you all the attributes which I possess myself, and your courage never fails you except in this one instance. On hearing this, the lion groaned and lamented it very, very much, and reproaching himself with his cowardice, wished that he might die. As these thoughts passed through his mind, he met an elephant and came close to hold a conversation with him. After a time, he observed the elephant shook his ears very often, and he inquired what was the matter and why his ears moved with such a tremor every now and then. Just at that moment, a gnat settled on the head of the elephant, and he replied, do you see that little buzzing insect? If it enters my ears, my fate is sealed. I should die presently. The lion said, well, since so huge a beast is afraid of a tiny gnat, I will no more complain, nor wish myself dead. I find myself, even as I am, better off than the elephant. End of the folktale. And what we usually do, we try to look for little tidbits in there to share with people. We try to connect it to up-to-date events. We try to connect it to certain things that's happening in our lives. We try to use and break these down for our personal development, because that's what I believe a lot of these folk tales were designed for. I call them crystallized wisdom, so that we don't have to always bump our head. Our ancestors have left us gems out here. All we got to do is take the time to do the work to dig them up and listen to them. So you want to share any of your insight on it? Because Shaka shared his, I share mine. So to complete the show, if you want to share something, you can.
All right. I won't say that I'm familiar with that one in particular, but there are similar folk stories or legends or tradition stories that have been passed along. Basically, what it comes down to, what I get from it at this point with my perception of things, is that you can't really base everything on physical condition, because it is just what it is, physical condition. As in places in America, they would say it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight and the dog.
Right.
That kind of can relate to it. So, to an individual like me, it only looks at, for the path or journey on which I'm on, which has a certain specific way to analyze, take, process, and does whatever it needs to do to put me on the path on which I'm on. It just brings me to physical condition is just what it is. So if you have to be defined by your physical condition, or I am so, I have this, I did that, I am, everything is I, you're so limited by that physical condition that you can't really take your nose out of it, then life has its ways to also bring you to a reality check.
Okay. What part of Africa are you from?
I'm from the West Coast.
Which country?
Côte d'Ivoire.
Say again?
My home, Côte d'Ivoire. You
Cote
guys
d'Ivoire.
call it Ivory
Okay.
Coast.
Right,
My
right.
hometown is Abidjan.
Okay. All right. Well, we have Brother Kwame say welcome, ID, to our humble abode. Sister Regina says the lion doesn't even have to kill the rooster. He only has to bury it briefly at dawn. The lion could also just relocate. You know what I'm saying? So we had some messages coming in. But tonight I'm on the show. We are at 55 minutes, and actually we have 56 minutes. And I want to thank you for taking the time to call in. Am I saying it right? Is it Addy? Addy. Okay. But feel free to call in because we got another show on Ujamaa. I can't say the days or I have to do push-ups and I'm tired. I don't want to do no push-ups. Shaka will break that down. But hold on, before I leave, Shaka, what other stuff was y'all talking about? Maybe we might catch a second win here. What other stuff was y'all talking about prior to the show?
Bro, man. Go, you
I'll
want to tell
let
him,
you go for it, Baba. Baba, go for it.
No. Go ahead because he hears me talk all the time. I want to just give him a little bit.
He just fell off. So go and talk
fell off?
He fell off. So go on and tell us a little bit because he probably about to call back.
Oh yeah, I mean we're talking about a lot, man. I mean, down to the spiritual.
He calling you. Hello? All right, family. Hello? All right, family, we're going to call it a night. I want to remind you that you are now tuned in to the Congregation of the Mighty. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Anime. Ooh, it's so hard having these spiritual animals. And this is a Heart of December production. Yep. It's a Heart of December production. And this has been the Folktales for Grown Folks. We strive to blow up your old paradigms.